Happiness is not something that magically appears when life becomes easy. It is something we build, nurture, and protect every single day. Every morning, when your eyes open, life silently gives you two choices. You can begin the day by focusing on what you lack, the problems that weigh you down, or the disappointments that keep echoing in your mind. Or you can start by appreciating the simple blessings you already have: the breath in your lungs, the roof over your head, the food on your table, and the chance to live another day. Happiness does not come from perfection, because life will never be perfect. It comes from how you respond to imperfection. It is not just a feeling, but a discipline requiring awareness and effort. To be happy, you must train your mind to look beyond the darkness and find even the smallest spark of light. Each day is a fresh opportunity to choose joy, not because everything is flawless, but because joy gives meaning to your journey. Choosing happiness is not about ignoring your struggles. It means refusing to let struggles control your emotions. Life will always bring challenges: stress at work, financial worries, conflicts in relationships, or personal setbacks. But the true power lies in how you handle them. When you wake up and say to yourself, "I will not let negativity steal my peace," you reclaim control over your life. Happiness requires discipline because it demands that you filter your thoughts, replacing fear with faith, doubt with determination, and anger with understanding. Each problem you face holds an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. When you focus on these lessons rather than the pain, you discover that happiness is not dependent on circumstances, but on perspective. Training your mind to find meaning even in difficulty allows joy to rise, even when the world feels heavy. Happiness also lives in the small, ordinary moments we often overlook. It is in the warm sip of morning tea, the quiet beauty of a sunrise, the smile of a stranger, or the gentle words of a loved one. Waiting for big achievements to feel joy only delays it. Real happiness comes when we stop chasing the extraordinary and start noticing the magic in the ordinary. Gratitude is the key that unlocks this mindset. When you focus on what is already good in your life, your heart becomes lighter and your mind calmer. Gratitude shifts your attention away from what is missing and shines a light on what is already present. Science even proves that gratitude rewires the brain, reduces anxiety, and increases happiness by training you to focus on abundance rather than lack. Begin simple. Write down 3 things you are grateful for each morning, and notice how your perspective slowly transforms. The people and influences you allow into your life also shape your happiness more than you realize. Negativity is contagious. When you constantly surround yourself with people who complain, criticize, and drain your energy, you begin to mirror their energy without even noticing. On the other hand, positivity is equally powerful. When you spend time with uplifting people, encouraging voices, and an environment that inspires you, you naturally feel lighter, happier, and more motivated. Think of your life as a garden. If you plant flowers but allow weeds to grow unchecked, the beauty will be overshadowed. Protect your peace by choosing who and what you allow into your space. Pick friends who celebrate your progress, not those who belittle it. Choose influences that uplift your spirit, not those that feed your doubts. Protect your energy as if it were your most valuable treasure, because your happiness depends on it. Happiness is also deeply tied to how you take care of your body. Your body is the vessel that carries you through life, and its condition directly influences your emotional well-being. Neglecting your health leads to fatigue, stress, and a lack of motivation. But when you nourish your body with care, you create the foundation for energy, clarity, and peace. Exercise is not just about building muscles or losing weight. It is about releasing stress and boosting your mood. Movement stimulates endorphins, your natural feel-good chemicals that instantly improve your state of mind. Similarly, nutrition plays a powerful role. Filling your body with processed foods and sugar may bring short-term satisfaction, but it leads to fatigue and mood swings. On the other hand, balanced meals of fresh, wholesome foods fuel your energy and stabilize emotions. Rest is equally essential. Sleep is not a luxury, but a necessity. A well-rested body creates a calm mind, ready to welcome joy. Caring for your body is more than just health. It is a form of self-love. Every time you choose to rest instead of overworking, to eat nourishing food instead of junk, or to move your body instead of staying still, you are sending yourself a powerful message. I matter. My health is a priority. This simple shift builds self-respect and strengthens emotional balance. A healthy body creates a healthy mind, and together they create a happier you. But caring for your body is only one part of the equation. Happiness also requires caring for your thoughts. Your mind is the command center of your life. The quality of your thoughts shapes the emotions you feel, the actions you take, and ultimately the results you experience. If your mind is filled with fear, criticism, and doubt, happiness will always feel out of reach. But when you learn to control your thoughts and redirect them toward hope and possibility, you unlock a powerful ability to create peace within yourself. The truth is, you cannot always control what happens around you, but you can control how you respond. Two people may go through the exact same situation. One sees only burden while the other finds a valuable lesson. The difference is not the problem, but the mindset. Your thoughts act like a lens. They can either blur your vision or bring clarity. To master your thoughts, you must first become aware of negative patterns. Many of us unconsciously replay past mistakes or imagine worst-case scenarios that never happen. This drains our happiness and energy. Taking back control requires catching those destructive thoughts and replacing them with empowering ones. Instead of saying, "I can't handle this," say, "I will find a way through this." Instead of believing, "I'm not good enough," remind yourself, "I am learning, I am growing, I am capable." These small shifts build resilience and create space for joy to thrive. Your thoughts also create the atmosphere in which you live every day. A mind filled with complaints makes everything feel heavier, while a mind filled with hope makes even struggles seem lighter. Controlling your thoughts is like guarding the gates of your inner peace. You decide what enters and what must be shut out. Protecting happiness from negativity is an intentional practice. Over time, this discipline builds strength and stability. You begin to realize that happiness is not about waiting for external circumstances to improve. It is about shaping your inner world so that peace exists regardless of chaos outside. This is why practices like meditation, journaling, or mindful breathing can be powerful tools. They calm the mind, sharpen awareness, and help you focus on the present moment. In stillness, you rediscover clarity. And in clarity, you find joy that cannot easily be shaken. One of the greatest sources of happiness comes from doing what makes your heart feel alive. Life can so easily become a cycle of routine, waking up, working, fulfilling responsibilities, and repeating the same tasks day after day. If you do not intentionally make space for the things you love, you slowly lose the spark that keeps you joyful. Doing what you love is not only about big passions or careers. It is about the small activities that bring you peace and fulfillment in daily life. Reading, writing, painting, cooking, playing music, exercising, or spending time in nature. All of these are doorways to happiness. They give your mind a break from stress and responsibility and allow joy to flow naturally without force. Even just a few minutes each day dedicated to something you love can recharge your spirit. These moments remind you that life is not only about obligations, it is also about joy. Happiness grows stronger when you live in alignment with what you love. When you make space for activities that reflect your true self, you begin to radiate positivity to those around you. It is like your soul shining through your daily actions. One of the most powerful ways to experience deeper joy is by giving it away. When you help others, you create a ripple effect of kindness that not only uplifts them, but also fills your own heart with purpose. Human beings are wired for connection, and acts of service, whether big or small, remind us that life holds meaning beyond ourselves. Helping others does not always require grand gestures or financial contributions. It can be as simple as listening to someone who feels unheard, offering encouragement to a struggling friend, or lending a hand when someone needs support. These small actions may seem ordinary, but to the person receiving them, they can mean everything. Helping others not only makes them feel supported, it transforms you as well. Science shows that acts of kindness release chemicals in the brain that increase happiness and reduce stress. Simply put, kindness makes you feel good too. Every time you step outside of your own problems to lighten someone else's burden, your perspective shifts. Suddenly, your struggles feel less overwhelming and your heart feels lighter. This is because giving reminds us that we are connected, that our lives have value beyond our individual challenges. In serving others, you also strengthen relationships and build trust. People remember how you made them feel when they needed someone most. And as you pour kindness into the world, positivity flows back to you, often in ways you do not expect. When giving becomes part of your daily practice, happiness stops being something you chase and instead becomes something you naturally share. And the more you share it, the more it multiplies. Happiness is not only found in grand achievements, but also in small victories. Too often, we wait for major milestones before allowing ourselves to feel joy. A big promotion, financial success, or a life-changing event. But joy actually lives in the smaller steps we take every day. It hides in daily progress, in the quiet achievements that often go unnoticed. Finishing a task you have delayed, making a healthier choice, staying consistent with your goals, or simply getting through a tough day are all victories worth celebrating. These moments may not seem grand, but they build momentum. Each small win tells your heart and mind, I am moving forward, I am capable, I am growing. The danger of ignoring these wins is that happiness always feels distant, as though it belongs only to the future. But when you recognize and celebrate small progress, you create joy in the journey itself. Celebrating small wins also reshapes the way your brain works. Instead of focusing on what you have not achieved yet, you begin noticing the progress you are already making. This mindset shift is powerful. It reduces stress, builds confidence, and fills you with gratitude for the journey you are on. Something as simple as writing down your small achievements at the end of the day can transform your perspective. Each accomplishment, no matter how minor, is proof that you are not stagnant, you are moving, you are learning, and you are improving step by step. Over time, this builds resilience and motivates you to keep going. Happiness is not a faraway dream. It is the collection of these daily choices, small steps, and ordinary joys. The more you honor them, the more your heart learns to find satisfaction in the present rather than endlessly postponing joy for a future that may never come. Another truth about happiness is that it grows when you protect your environment. Just as a flower needs the right soil and sunlight, your peace of mind needs the right conditions. A cluttered, chaotic environment often leads to a cluttered, restless mind. On the other hand, a clean, organized, and inspiring space encourages calmness and clarity. Pay attention to what fills your surroundings, colors, objects, even the energy of the people around you. If something drains your spirit, remove it. If something inspires you, keep it close. Happiness is not only about inner work, it is also about the external space you create. Protect your energy by treating it as your most valuable treasure. Choose carefully what you allow into your life, whether it is the people you spend time with, the books you read, the shows you watch, or the content you scroll through online. What you consume becomes fuel for your thoughts. Your mental diet matters as much as your physical one. If you constantly feed your mind with gossip, anger, and comparison, do not be surprised when joy feels distant. But when you surround yourself with uplifting content, motivational words, and peaceful influences, you set the tone for happiness to grow. This is why being intentional about what you consume is so important. Your thoughts are shaped by your inputs. Positive words create positive energy, just as negative messages drain your spirit. Guard your mind the way you would guard your most precious possession. Happiness is too valuable to leave unprotected. The more carefully you choose what to let in, the more naturally peace begins to fill your heart. Remember, happiness is not about waiting for ideal conditions. It is about creating them. And every decision you make, From the food you eat to the voices you listen to, builds the environment where joy can flourish. Happiness also thrives when you learn the art of balance. Life constantly pulls us in different directions. Work demands our time, relationships require our attention, and personal goals call for discipline. Without balance, we either burn out or lose sight of what truly matters. Balance does not mean giving equal time to everything. It means giving the right attention to the right things. It is about knowing when to push yourself and when to rest, when to give and when to receive, when to focus on responsibilities and when to simply breathe. A balanced life creates stability, and stability creates space for joy. Too much of anything, even work, even ambition, eventually drains you. Happiness is not in doing more, but in doing what matters with presence and awareness. When you learn balance, your heart feels lighter, your mind clearer, and your life more meaningful. Another essential part of happiness is acceptance. So much of our suffering comes not from circumstances, but from resistance. We resist the past, wishing it were different. We resist the present, believing it should be easier. We resist the future, fearing what might go wrong. This constant resistance steals our peace. Acceptance does not mean giving up or settling. It means acknowledging reality as it is, without fighting against it. It means saying, "This is my starting point, and from here I will grow." When you accept life's imperfections, you free yourself from the burden of unrealistic expectations. You stop demanding that life always meet your conditions before you allow yourself to feel joy. Happiness becomes possible not when everything is perfect, but when you embrace life as it unfolds, with all its highs and lows. Acceptance creates space for gratitude, and gratitude creates space for joy. Happiness deepens when you learn to let go. Carrying old pain, resentment, or regret is like walking with a heavy backpack. You may still move forward, but the journey feels exhausting. Forgiveness, both of yourself and others, is one of the most powerful keys to happiness. Forgiveness does not erase the past, but it frees you from being trapped by it. Holding on to anger only poisons your spirit, while letting go restores your peace. It takes courage to release the hurt, but doing so makes room for healing. Letting go also applies to unrealistic expectations. The idea that life must always go according to your plan. When you let go of control and allow life to unfold, you find beauty in surprises and lessons in challenges. Happiness is not about clinging tightly to what was or what should be. It is about opening your hands to what is and allowing peace to flow through. Joy also grows when you learn presence, the ability to fully experience the moment you are in. Too often, our minds are stuck in yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's worries, while the present slips away unnoticed. But life only happens in the now. Happiness is not found in yesterday's memories or tomorrow's dreams. It exists here, in this very breath. Presence means slowing down enough to notice the laughter of a child, the colors of the sky, the taste of your food, the rhythm of your heartbeat. These simple moments, when truly lived, become extraordinary. Mindfulness practices like deep breathing or simply observing your surroundings can anchor you in the present. The more you live here and now, the less power regret and anxiety have over you. Happiness is not hidden in the distant future. It is woven into this moment, waiting for you to notice and embrace it. Happiness also comes from growth. As human beings, we are wired to evolve, to stretch beyond our limits, and to keep moving forward. Stagnation breeds frustration, while progress fuels joy. Growth does not always mean achieving something huge. It can be learning a new skill, reading a book that expands your perspective, or challenging yourself in small but meaningful ways. Each step of progress, no matter how small, ignites a sense of pride and purpose. Growth also builds confidence, reminding you that you are capable of more than you think. The pursuit of growth gives your life direction and energy. It keeps your spirit alive. When you stop growing, happiness fades, because joy and progress are deeply connected. By choosing to grow each day, through learning, self-reflection, or stepping outside your comfort zone, you create a wellspring of lasting fulfillment that no external circumstance can take away. Happiness is also tied to purpose. When you know why you are waking up each morning, life feels more meaningful. Purpose does not always mean a grand mission that changes the world. It can be as simple as caring for your family, creating something beautiful, or making a positive difference in your community. Purpose gives direction to your energy and allows your actions to align with your values. Without purpose, even success feels empty, but with purpose, even small tasks feel rewarding. Ask yourself, what makes my heart come alive? What activities make me lose track of time? The answers often point to your purpose. Living with purpose fuels motivation and gives you the strength to endure challenges. It reminds you that your life matters, that your presence in the world holds weight. And when you live with purpose, happiness is not something you chase. It becomes a natural result of living true to yourself. Happiness is strengthened by resilience, the ability to stand back up when life knocks you down. Challenges are inevitable, but suffering is not. Resilience does not mean avoiding pain. It means learning to rise despite it. Every setback carries within it the seed of growth. When you view challenges as opportunities to become stronger, you transform pain into power. Resilience is built through patience, self-compassion, and the belief that storms do not last forever. You may bend under the weight of difficulty, but you will not break if you trust your ability to endure. Happiness grows in resilient hearts because they do not let circumstances define their worth. Instead, they use adversity as fuel for growth. Every time you overcome hardship, you gain confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes next. This confidence becomes joy, a joy rooted not in comfort, but in strength. Happiness also lives in connection. We are not meant to walk through life alone. Relationships, whether with family, friends, or community, are some of the deepest sources of joy. When you share laughter stories, or even silence with someone who understands you, happiness grows. But meaningful connection requires effort. It asks for presence, vulnerability, and kindness. Too often, we isolate ourselves when we feel low, believing no one will understand. Yet, reaching out is exactly what brings healing. Connection reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles, that love and support surround us. Invest time in building and nurturing your relationships. Be the friend who listens, the family member who encourages, and the person who lifts others up. As much as independence is important, interdependence is where joy multiplies. Happiness shared becomes happiness doubled. Happiness flourishes when you embrace authenticity. When you stop pretending to be who others want you to be and start living as your true self. Pretending may win approval, but it steals your joy. Authenticity is freedom, the freedom to speak your truth, to follow your passions, to honor your values. It means living in alignment with your inner self rather than chasing external validation. Authentic living requires courage because not everyone will understand or agree with your choices. But the peace of knowing you are being true to yourself outweighs the discomfort of disapproval. Happiness rooted in authenticity is unshakable because it is not dependent on others' opinions. When you embrace who you are, you radiate confidence and attract people who appreciate the real you. The world does not need another copy. It needs your unique light. Letting that light shine is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and others. In the end, happiness is not a destination waiting at the end of a perfect road. It is a choice, a discipline, and a daily practice. It is built through gratitude, balance, acceptance, resilience, growth, connection, authenticity, and love. It is protected by the environment you create, the thoughts you choose, and the people you surround yourself with. It is fueled by doing what you love, helping others, and celebrating even the smallest victories. Each day is a chance to choose joy, not because life is flawless, but because joy gives meaning to life. True happiness is not about having more. It is about seeing more, appreciating more, and becoming more. And when you learn to cultivate it daily, you create a life not just of survival, but of deep fulfillment. If this message inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share the light. Like this video and visit our channel for more uplifting and powerful stories that will guide you toward a happier, stronger, and more meaningful life.